You always want outside. Always. Outside. Millie, come on. Outside. Been a busy week. I've taken a job working part-time at a neighboring ranch, and I'm usually gone like 10 or 11 hours. And so now I need to catch up here. I came home last night and I needed to give the chickens food and water. Well, they were still good, like almost out of food, but they were definitely out of water for the day, and it had sprinkled, and so they were trying to eat or drink the raindrops off their roof. So I came out last night and tried to get them water before the automatic chicken coop door closed, and I watched them from upstairs, and they just kept coming out of the coop, and it kept getting darker and darker and darker, and I was afraid they weren't going to make it out or make it back in, but they did. So now they're getting some spinach. You gotta jump for it. Yeah. All right, we are working on a fun project today. We got the Odie Mystic Rainwater Collection System. Now, we kind of talked about this briefly in our last video, but we are going to be installing this guy into our gutter. What we'll do is we'll cut our gutter in two spots, and then this goes in, and then this ends up dropping inside here, and all of the water that goes into the gutter ends up collecting around this portion and comes out this little hose. But if it's just a straight up downpour and this overflows, then it will go ahead and go into the gutter and continue going out to wherever your gutter discharges. But if it's not overflowing, you actually collect all the rain that ends up in the gutter, which typically is a large surface area being on your roof. So that's what we're gonna hook up today. That collects the water, but we need to have a vessel to put the water into. And so we actually got 4 of these food grade 55-gallon drums. Now, the 4 that we got actually had canola oil in them originally, and we are going to be storing our collected rainwater or other water that we use in the house that instead of it going down the drain, we may collect and then store in these barrels. And that is what we're going to be able to do a little bit of irrigating with this summer. The first step in this process is I have to clean the porch off. The other thing is Steph said I couldn't just put it somewhere, that all of these new things need to have new homes. So that's probably going to take me all week to figure that out, but that's going to be part of my project. So what it was. So now this will sit back there, but and then I have another rain barrel out here on the ground, and it sits about this high. And so if I had this rain barrel sit taller than this, then I would have the option to fill this rain barrel and then gravity fill the second rain barrel and keep filling the first one up. And that would give me, you know, 110 gallons of capacity. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go find something to prop this up with. The barrel will sit on top of there. Nice. We should probably check the instructions now. So in order to get that in, it's saying cut a 6-inch section out of the gutter, and it needs to be 12 inches above the top of where the collection vessel or the drum is going to be. So let's just measure this guy. Ballpark 56 inches, 68. Probably not ideal, but it's my at least my grandpa's hacksaw. If not my great grandpa's. I'm not really sure the story on it, but it's old. We'll see if it works. I don't think this is going to be easy. That sucked. Over there. Okay, so that gets water into the barrel, and this is how I'm going to get water out of the barrel. This is a very fancy fitting, but it's exactly what we need. It is made up of 5 pieces, but really it's kind of 3. This portion is a bulkhead fitting. This gasket and this goes inside the barrel. This gasket goes on the outside of the barrel, and this nut threads on, and that is what sandwiches this brass hardware to the plastic barrel, and these gaskets are what seal it. Now these are left-handed threads, and this is a right-handed thread or a standard thread, because as you put this on, if this is tight on the barrel, because I can't access the fitting on the inside, all I can do is hold this nut on the outside, and if I tighten this, both fittings get tight at the same time. That's why this is really cool. Most bulkhead fittings are right-hand thread, but this one, being they called it literally a rain barrel spigot, has left-handed threads on the bulkhead fitting, so everything gets tight. Now, I believe I need to drill an 1.25 inch hole. Look at me, I looked at instructions twice. 1.25 inch hole. Let's just get ourselves an 1.25 inch. I'm using a paddle bit because I can't find a hole saw. So ideally, you would use a hole saw. Now this seam right here is in line with this spigot. It doesn't matter unless you're OCD. And then we want this pretty much right near the bottom. If you get too far low, you might have a hard time having your gaskets seal on the inside and the outside. So I'm just going to come up just a little bit so that I have a good seal, it doesn't leak, and I maximize my barrel's capacity. Right there. Oh. Now, I'll just take my knife. That could be sharp, but I'm just going to take my knife and make sure that I cut all those burrs so that, again, the gaskets have the best chance they can to seal. Now, the funny part, when I was reading the paperwork, they were giving a couple different methods on how to install this. And the best thing that they came up with was dropping it in and then trying to get it. So odds are it's backwards. Yep, it's backwards. So I have it, but now I need to turn it 180. Like that. Get my finger out of the way. Finish oh, it rolled away. Come here. Hello? Hello? I got it. Okay, let's see if I can. That hole is like the perfect size. Maybe it'll help me hold it. Somehow. What we don't want to hear is tink. I did it without dropping it. Tink. Okay, so now very gently we're going to get this started. Remember, it's the left hand threads. Alright. Oh, now it's spinning. Of course. These are a little small, but now we actually want to put Teflon tape on this, which they so kindly included. We're just gonna put that on top. Oh no! So now this is what I was talking about when I tighten this. If I get to the point where the friction, you can see both of them turning and getting tighter. Well, now I'm turning everything, so right there's good. Just gonna close that. Got this guy on. That just works its way on. We'll get this. When we get a rain, it'll fall on the roof, go into the gutter, go down our downspout, and get captured. That looks so janky right now. But I'm concerned this hose isn't going to stay open because they folded it up in a roll to get it to us. And I just don't know that it's going to stay open. But we'll try, and we can hook up a garden hose here and fill that one.